Is the Bible saying, Barishona bara Elohim? In the very beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. You've heard that translation before, right? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That's not what the Hebrew says. The Hebrew says, in the beginning of. And therefore, the next word is not bara, but baro, which means creating, the gerund. So is it in the beginning God created, or is it in the beginning of God's creating? Can you see the difference? One is we're delineating a very specific order, and one is we're introducing the concept of God's creating, and now we're going to delineate it. Is it Berishona bara or Bereshit baro? Okay? Hebrew speakers know exactly what I'm talking about. Whoever vocalized the text said, we're going to have it both ways. We're going to make a grammatical mistake, so you can read it both, in the beginning God created, and in the beginning of God's creating. It's a subtle, but rather profound difference, because one is we have the order of creation, and the other is these are the things that happened in general during the creation. So even that first word is ambiguous. Secondly, according to the Midrash, the Bereshit actually can be broken down into two words. Instead of the in the beginning, actually is what is called beit, the letter bet, of usage. Now I'm going to slow down a little bit and teach a little bit of Hebrew grammar. In Hebrew, if I want to say I'm eating with a fork, I don't say ani ochel im mazleg. Im meaning with, mazleg is a fork. Ochel, eat. If I said in Hebrew, ani ochel im mazleg, it would mean I took a fork out to dinner. Okay, I'm eating with a fork sitting next to me. If I want to say I'm using a fork while I eat, I would say ani ochel bimazleg. Okay, it's the letter bet of usage. Okay, so if you're using something, interesting, the word bet, the letter bet, which means in, also means usage. So therefore, you can break this down and say bereshit, by means of reshit, God created the heavens and the earth. This is a midrashic deconstruction. It doesn't mean in the beginning at all. It means by the usage of reshit, God created the heavens and the earth. So what does reshit mean? By the usage of reshit, God created the heavens and the earth. So now the question is, well, what is reshit if God used it? The midrashic author goes searching through the Bible, ends up in the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 22 and following, where reshit is identified with chokhmah, or wisdom. So the midrashic deconstructed, recreated meaning is, by the means of wisdom, God created the heavens and the earth. This is the midrashic misreading of the text. Are you all with me? You take this grammar, bereshit, instead of in the beginning, say by means of, because the letter bet can mean in or by means of. The word reshit, which means beginning or beginning of, in the book of Proverbs means wisdom, and therefore the Midrash puts it together and says, by means of wisdom, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, think about it for a moment. If it says, by means of wisdom, God created the heavens and the earth, what do we know about wisdom? You know a couple of really important things already. What do you know? God had it as a tool. What else do you know? So creation has a purpose because there was this tool being used. Therefore, you're right, God was shaping something. What else do you know about wisdom? It's powerful. What else? It came before everything else. Wisdom preceded creation. Whatever chokhmah is, in the Midrash, chokhmah is the blueprint of reality, which means there's the idea of reality before there's actually reality. So chokhmah comes to mean, not just wisdom as we would use the term, chokhmah comes to mean something like reality in the mind of God that actually is used to create reality.
Sim, shalom, sim, shalom, sim, shalom, tova uveracha. Sim, shalom, sim, shalom, sim, shalom, tova uveracha. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Sim, shalom, sim.